Last year, I made a video that gave a high-level overview about the PlayStation 2's backwards compatibility, while also highlighting some of the minor blemishes I've found in a couple games. To sum it up, the PS2 is handy for playing PS1 content with component cables for better video quality, but depending on the model you have, is far from perfect due to various emulation issues. However, recently I found out the hard way that things can be much worse than a small bug. The title we'll be highlighting today is Megatudo 2096. This is a 3D mech fighter from 1996. For the most part, it's a straightforward game in the genre, with directional inputs for special moves. What is interesting is you can actively slide your mech in 4 directions at almost all times. This even includes during attack animations. This mechanic adds a lot of dynamic movement options as the combatants shift in and out of attack range, sometimes mid-combo. While I found the title interesting, I had a lot of trouble having fun with it. The battles just kind of drag out, although this wasn't completely due to the design choices the developers made. The footage you've been seeing up until this point has been running off my SCPH 77000 PlayStation 2. Let's put up some gameplay from my SCPH 9001 PlayStation 1, which has been modified to play region-locked discs. For some reason, the PS2 model I have is running the game at what feels like half speed. This massive drop really changes how it plays. What I thought was sluggish and inconsistently paced is in reality snappy and intense, as you can fling yourself at a foe within a fraction of a second. It doesn't resolve every issue the title has, it's way too easy to play keep away from your opponents, yet it significantly improves the experience. You might be thinking that this isn't a worst case scenario. It boots up, is playable, and isn't a bug-ridden nightmare. For example, if you haven't seen it, you should look at Anakin94's video about how bad Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, can get on certain systems. However, in cases like this, it's pretty clear something is wrong. Why I believe the situation with Megatudo 2096 is more offensive is I had no idea there was a problem. Low, erratic frame rates are fairly common on early 3D platforms, so at no point did it register to me that there was an issue here. I even asked somebody I knew who also played it. They also assumed this is how the game was. I was about to publish possibly the only English language video review of it on YouTube. Showing it in this state could have done some damage to its reputation, creating an inaccurate narrative of what that title is. Now, I will say, when looking at other gameplay videos online, a lot are running properly, but they're not clearly marked as operating on real hardware. I actually did see some of these. I thought they were on emulator and that the increased speed was just a weird bug due to some incompatibility. The only thing that stopped me from putting out my original review is that at the last moment I stumbled across a random Russian-named promotional video from the 90s. When I saw the speed it was running at, I was like, oh, wait a second. Now, it is worth mentioning, it's not like I've tested this on every PS2 model. I'm on a later revision, which tends to have more issues. That being said, I don't think my scenario is particularly uncommon. Cheap late model PS2s are a very accessible way to get great component video output since the original PlayStation didn't support it, or it's also an affordable option for imports. So I believe that at least a relatively large number of people who have imported Megatudo 2096 may have played it this way. Again, using your PS2 is probably fine in most cases. I wouldn't be surprised if all the big boy titles were largely tested with each release. But when you're getting into the more uncharted waters of the library, maybe try to keep an eye out for this stuff. I definitely will be further scrutinizing any original PlayStation games I shove into my PlayStation 2. Thanks for watching. As I mentioned in the previous video, resources for this stuff is pretty hard to come by, though recently it seems like there has been an effort to clean up the Wikipedia list, as well as do some real research on the incompatibilities. It's incredibly early on, with most listings relying on Sony's own reported issues. Still, they seem like they're doing good work over there. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and feel free to share your backwards compatibility experiences in the comments. You can also check out my original video about this topic, or if you're into PS1 imports, check out my video on Tiny Bullets, a 3D action platformer with some Zelda-ish style dungeons, and I may consider re-reviewing Megatudo 2096, so I'll link that whenever that happens.